Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go. I helped my son study for his school spelling bee. I got to volunteer a little bit last week, and what he said the next day to me, because he didn't win, shocked me, floored me, humbled me, and I just want to unpack that experience with you. It is just fascinating and applies to entrepreneurship in the biggest way. I actually thought about this as I was driving my kids home back from dropping my kids off at school. I have a longer commute. Any other moms have a long school commute, but it's like great thinking in CEO time, right? But I was actually shocked because I just recorded 8 private episodes for you. I made a new podcast. It's free. It's private podcast, financially stable and free. And so I'm actually surprised I came up with more podcast episodes for you, but I do. I have a great one for you today. But make sure that you grab that private feed. Basically, I crossed the $1 million mark in my business this year. And so while it's still fresh on my mind, I wanted to create a mini course on the best tips I have for you if you're working to get to consistent 6 figures in your business, and just really downloaded some practical tips, tricks, and strategies, and also made a worksheet for you, and just really 6 key components to making 6 figures with soft, heart-centered energy. And I hope it's the course that you actually listen to because A, it's free, B, it's audio, so you can listen on the go. So make sure that you grab that. But let's talk about what my son said. So he didn't win, but he had a great go at it. I even got to volunteer and hand out name tags. Does any other moms get so emotional at things like that? I even if I don't know the kids, if I'm at a kids cross country meet, I will be crying. There's just something beautiful about kids risking, kids putting their heart out there, kids trying. And I think as adults, we start to get an accidental ego and we're not willing to look silly or try things again, right? And I just think there's something beautiful about trying to do something, knowing this risky, it's vulnerable. It's like when we try to love someone, when we start a business, right? It's just risk. And I just think there's something beautiful about that art form of just living with vulnerability and humility, right? I've been thinking about this too, just quick aside, in my life in the past month, I've had a lot of change happen. I've had to do some new hires and stuff like that. And I was just thinking about, even though I hate change, I really find that in the times of change or challenge, I find I'm actually the most calm and grounded and centered because I have to be, right? When we experience challenge or change, whether we instigated it or not, even if it's positive change, right? It still is change and it can be unregulating for our nervous system. But I find those are the times when I talk to my friends more and I lean on support, when I lean on my coach more, when I pray more, when I journal more, when I snuggle my kids tighter, when I'm just more present at dinner. And honestly, I do better at unplugging from work. And so if you are in a season of either change or challenge, just really using that as an opportunity to lean into gratitude, to lean into presence and some of those gifts, right? Okay, back to my son. So he didn't win, but he had a great go at it. And the next night he said to me, "Mom, I kind of miss studying with you." And I smiled, I softened, and I realized I miss those moments too. We had a few weeks where I was roping in relatives to help him study on Zoom. I took him to the coffee shop and we had a bagel day and I had some big poster boards out. You know me, I go all in on things, right? We would study in the car, we would study over breakfast, and we just had some really sweet memories, right? I don't know if you guys know my story, but I'm a single mama. And so, my life can tend to be full and busy. And just like all moms, I question, am I doing a good job? Am I, the times that I do lose my patience, am I making it right enough? Am I spending enough quality time with them? I make time to play Legos, but like, then I get tired of playing Legos, right? And so I think like just him reflecting that like he enjoyed those moments studying with me, like those are some moments I'll never forget, right? Like he would just do this thing where like when he would say like a word wrong and I would correct it, he'd be like, that's not what I said. What I said is B, A, R, Like he just do this little voice, like, and then we would just like both crack up and laugh. And, some of the words were really challenging. So we would make up funny ways to say them. And I realized like both fell in love with this process. And of course, like there'll be other things to study too. It's not like that's over forever. But what I realized is this is the magic that I see my most successful female online business owner clients get. Okay. And that is, as ambitious women, 90% of our life is not the mountaintop moments. 90% of our life is climbing the mountain. It's the in-between. It's the process. Right. And so I just think this is a super important conversation, especially around the new year or whenever you make a new goal, is just to be so aware of the process you're creating for yourself to meet that goal, because it is everything about getting your result faster, but it's also everything about having a good life and not being miserable day to day. Okay. And especially if you're an ambitious woman, like, you need to hear this. Like, I am a huge woman of faith, and I believe you are listening to this podcast for a reason. And I just think this is like the biggest lesson that I hope we get as young as possible, because I think as ambitious women, it's like as a brilliant, ambitious woman, it's a double-edged sword, right? You're brilliant, you're ambitious, and that's amazing because you can accomplish so much. But the downside of that is I think sometimes we're our worst enemy, and we get to the end of a year or we get to the end of a goal, and the story in our head is we're never enough. We're never fast enough. We're never, I hear this from my clients all the time when they'll meet a big goal and they're like, yeah, but I should have done that like last month. Right? And we really beat ourselves up. Whether we don't meet a goal, we tell ourselves the story like that we're dumb or whatever. If we do meet the goal, we're like, yeah, but I should have done it sooner or blah. Like, instead of just really giving ourselves so much credit and grace. That's why if you haven't listened to the episode, Top 10 Wins of the Year, I highly recommend that. And really, it's just the practice of seeing like what you have done, what you have accomplished, celebrating the wins from there. It's why on the daily check-in, I really encourage you to also do that win exercise. I mean, yes, do it every year, but like you should be doing it every day. Okay. But anyway, I just want to dive into this a little bit more and explain how this applies to business. But I hope that this is a useful and helpful conversation for you. So I see this for my women in my mastermind, Sell with Heart. These women are wanting to create six figures in their business financially on part-time hours in a really freedom-soaked way, right? And not just six figures making it, but eventually taking home six figures. That's the goal, right? Because if you were to work a day job, you could find a six-figure day job. So the goal is to bring home six figures from your business. That's the outcome that we're wanting, right? Money, but in a way that is flexible, in a way that is part-time, in a way that is freedom-based, so that you can live your happy, boring dream life like I talk about, right? Really, the skill of this, the process is learning to sell with heart, right? Learning to master sales, visibility, marketing, message, like all of that is what you are doing day to day to get to that outcome. That's half of it. The other half is the delivery of your product, right? Because you're not just selling and marketing, getting visible and blah, blah, blah. You're also then showing up and delivering for your product, right? And I have seen this for me big time. Like I have really found a way in my business to love both. Like I, number one, love delivering my product. I love to coach. When I'm in a coaching session, time escapes me and I'm in flow and I'm fully present and I just love it. And I just feel so honored and I feel so privileged. I talked about this before, but when I first started coaching online, I really felt a lot of guilt for making money doing it because it felt like I had always loved my different day jobs, but this felt the most aligned I had ever made money and was the most money I was ever making. So it just felt a little weird that money was not miserable to make, that money I could get paid for doing something that I loved. I could get paid for doing something I was good at, right? I could get paid well for doing something service-oriented when I think typically for women, a lot of our service-oriented things have been undercompensated, right? So it was just a huge mind trip for me, but I truly have created a business where, for me, I haven't taken the high touch out as I've scaled and grown because honestly, I'd be miserable. Like I love high touch coaching where there's just a few women in each session and I'm really able to go deep and know their business and use my actual coaching skills and yes, give advice, but actually use coaching tools and get people results by changing them from the inside out and doing the mindset work, all of that. So I've really created a business where I love the process and I love my work, right? The other part of that is, as a business owner, we're not just delivering our product, but we're also running a business, right? And so the other part is I do selling and I do marketing. And I really love what I have picked for selling and marketing, which is number one, this podcast. I love it. Number two, doing a lot of writing. I love to write. I love to share my story. I love to share my heart. No, you don't have to be on social media to sign clients. You don't have to be as personal as I am. I just enjoy that, right? And so it's really about crafting a marketing and sales strategy that aligns with your personality. There are some of my clients that share literally zero about themselves personally, and they do other things to market and sell that align with their personality, right? And so really the reason I've been able to make multi-six figures for multiple years now and do it on really part-time hours and with low stress and be so stable financially is because I love the process. It is the mountaintop moments I enjoy. I enjoy that I made $1 million. I enjoy I made multiple six figures, right? I enjoy some of those milestone moments like having published my book and having it hit bestseller in 8 categories, right? But honestly, I also enjoyed the process of writing my book and I got to have a launch club where the girls were reading it with me and the whole point is loving that process. And I really love the process so much, right? But that takes time to figure out. And that takes a lot of personalization to figure out as a service provider, right? Half of my clients are coaches in the mastermind, half of them are done for you women. So it's just figuring out what do I most enjoy doing with my time when I am fully booked and I have 20 hours of work. Do I like to be on Zoom listening to women and their problems? Or do I like to be on a computer running spreadsheets? Again, it's not a right or wrong. It's just what do I like to do with my time? And what if I could make money doing that, right? Same thing with marketing, right? There are so many ways to market your business between video and writing and different social media platforms and in-person connections and things where you're talking to a lot of people at once and things where you're just connecting intimately. And there's no right or wrong. It's just about doing that thing that matches with your personality and realize that you can make money being you really in a way, right? I did a lot of performing and acting growing up. And so speaking like this, speaking on a podcast comes really natural to me. And so that is why that is so useful for me, right? Also, it's really nice because I'm a person that does not do my hair and makeup every day. So I could just hop on a podcast when I want to, right? Anyway, so all that to say, the goal is figuring out how do we really enjoy this process? Because for my clients, that's where I find they have the most quantum leaps in any result that they're making, right? Think about even for me this year, I'm definitely the most physically fit I have ever been as far as my physique and how I look, but also how I feel strength-wise in my body. And that's because I love doing yoga sculpt at my gym and I love my gym. They're like a family to me and we celebrate and we drink champagne on Saturdays and my kids are welcome to come to the gym too and I can bring them and put them in the kids center. And on a day when I don't feel like doing a hard workout, they have a yoga nidra class, which is basically I get to take a nap while my kids are being watched in the kids center, right? So see how much I enjoy that process of going to the gym consistently. So of course, I would have a really fit body and heart and mind because I love the process of going to the gym, right? So that just to say, whatever goal you're working on, just really being so aware. And it's not that we're not going to not have to do new things, right? We are going to have to try new things. We are going to have to be uncomfortable, right? But it's tolerating that discomfort to try new things till you find the things that you love, particularly in sales and marketing, right? Particularly in your business delivery, like being willing to have the short-term discomfort so that you can find that process that you like, so that, I know it sounds cheesy, but so that you can enjoy that journey, right? And even with those micro failures along the way, you're kind of just like enjoying it and able to be light about it. And it really is that magic. One more point too is I think, I hear from a lot of my clients, I'm not feeling motivated, or how do I do the things on my list or in my life that are important but not urgent? And I think we're really used to like operating on a deadline or operating from other people having a deadline for us, or we're used to operating from guilt or from pressure or from adrenaline. And I just think it's like useful to know that we can find a new way of operating from a place of peace, of proactivity, right? Like business really needs to be boring. That's what I tell my clients. You're going to make the most financially stable money if your business becomes boring, right? If you are planning ahead, if you are having a few core offers that sell like hotcakes, right? And so I think my biggest advice here is just making sure you have guidance and support to be able to sustain that and create that, and really getting clear on like, what are your goals? How are you consistently working towards them, right? And what I love most about the mastermind is we are doing the process together, right? Like you really are, the mastermind sisters are like such a community and such coworkers together, where, in a day job, you have that built-in community. But I just think loneliness is a really big epidemic in some ways in entrepreneurship. And so just giving yourself permission to create new friendships, whether it's in a mastermind or something else. Okay, I would love to hear from you if this was useful for you, if you are going to recommit to, if there are things in your process of making more money that are not aligning for you or feeling good, permission to reinvent them and to figure out how to enjoy that process more so that you can enjoy your life, your business, get results faster. And if you want my support on this and learning to sell and mastering that process so that you can make more money in a way that's aligned and peaceful and filled with soft energy, I would love to invite you to the Sell with Heart Mastermind. It's my 6-month program that includes really everything you need to get to 6 figures and beyond. I'm also going to read just briefly who Sell with Heart is for and then what it includes. But if you are at all interested, I would just encourage you to fill out the 10-minute application because that helps us both know if it's a fit for you. But Sell with Heart, mentorship and mastermind is for women that want to not just make, but take home 6 figures with heart and create complete financial stability on part-time hours to create their happy, boring dream life. This is for you if you have big ambitions to bring home money for your family more than ever before, and you want to put your family first. You're craving strong structure and personal coaching support so that you know exactly what to do with your limited time to make consistent month-over-month income without exhausting yourself. This is for you if you're ready for a season of your business to take more brave action so you can scale faster, but want to do it with a coach that knows you personally. You're already making at least $2 to $12K in your business a month, but you're ready to keep growing so you can take home $10K a month while having time to have space to take care of your body, whatever it is for you, your babies, your health. This is for you if you know you don't need another course because you already know the business basics, so you're ready to fill in strategic gaps in a way that is repeatable for consistent income so you can break your income ceiling but feel good doing it. This is for you if you're ready to renew your offer suite, your ideal week, your visibility and sales actions, all those strategic pieces so that you can have more aligned clients filling your programs and wait lists. This is for you if you're a coach, a course creator, or service provider by profession, but you'd like to expand your savings and wealth in general through multiple income streams over time. So you're committed to the money mindset work because you know you're worthy of more safety, more abundance, more money flowing in a grounded way. Okay, what it includes is 2 pod calls each month with me personally for built-in CEO time in your business. So all you have to do is show up to the calls, and it's easy to make that time to think big picture, ignore the day-to-day stuff, and really troubleshoot so that you can get to the 6 figures faster, even when you have current clients or current obligations, and you know when you hop off the call what to focus on during your limited time. It's that sisterhood brainstorming, not just from me, but also from your mastermind sisters. And then, of course, I always pipe in with my professional advice and strategy so that you're consistent in your money-making actions. It comes with a quarterly business planning session led by me for a clear 90-day calendaring of your marketing and your income goals. It comes with an additional quarterly dream day retreat. We wear our cozy socks. We light our candles so you can get clear on the things that matter to you, like being a patient and present mom and just those life priorities and goals. It comes with 4 one-on-one sessions with me for personalized strategy to 6 figures, as long as you clock in your sales hours. It's a little carrot for you. It comes with 12 Sell with Heart sales modules so you can create more cash with less ick and resistance, finding a way to stay consistently sold out without compromising your values or standards. And then 12 money mindset audios for money breakthrough and a journal for really creating money in a way that feels heart-centered because you're healing some of your money wounds there. And really all of these resources like the income projection tracker, a scaling and take a break document that women use if they're taking vacations or maternity leaves, really so that you can live that happy, boring dream life I talk about and have templates on how to do it. It also comes with unlimited Slack support between sessions via our prompts. And so that it's never like another thing you have to do, but that you can always come in when you're ready and when you want support. And I can meet you there. And then, of course, that high vibe sisterhood, arguably the best part, women, coworkers that get you and really become lifelong friends, referral partners, future clients, and just make the day in and day out of business way more fun and motivating so that, like we talked about, you want to show up, right? You want to do that CEO work. Maybe like what you're working on is kind of a grind, but at least you get to do it with women that are in it with you. And you have that accountability in a way, but that doesn't feel like dominating. It just feels really natural. Okay, hopefully this was helpful for you. I know that you can get so busy, so hopefully reading some about the program was helpful, but feel free to message me if you have any questions. I am an open book and my sales process is no pressure. And so you can ask me any questions and I will answer you honestly. And just know that I am in your corner. And either way, just wishing you a beautiful and fantastic week. And the biggest thank you for being in the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast family. Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.